Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting reading from Papa's Comic Books and Coffee. All right, let's see who decided to drop in today. Will we look at that? It is X Factor number 15. It was 75 cents back in 1987. This is by Louise Simonson and Walter Simonson. The name of the story, Whose Death Is It Anyway? And don't forget, this book and others are available on my eBay page, papas-comic-books. All right, let's get into the reading. His millionaire parents named him Warren Worthington III. By birth, he was American royalty. But it was the X factor in his genetic makeup that made him special. It gave him wings, it let him soar, and he called himself the angel. Whose death is it anyway? All right. On my stomach, what happened? I remember battling the tunnel wings, crushed in traction, sick. Why is this thing doing that? Sorry about that, folks. What happened to my back? No, my wings. Where are my wings? They gangrened, Warren. You were dying. The doctors got a court order. There was nothing we could do. I'm just glad you're here. High-flying angel crashes. Meanwhile, in Anchorage, Alaska, morgues, this way, son, but she's not a pretty sight. I wouldn't even bother except for your missing wife's a redhead. Even so, you won't be able to tell much. Body so barely decomposed, positive identification will be pretty near impossible. It's okay, Lieutenant. I've seen bodies before. No, that isn't Maddie. It can't be. Only, it is, isn't it? They killed her, Lieutenant. And my baby, too. All my fault. Get a hold of yourself, son. How can it be your fault? I should have been here, and now I've got to stay. Find whoever did this. Do to them what they did to her. I've got friends in New York, Lieutenant, people I work with. They'll help me. Oh, yes, operator, this is X Factor. Headquarters. How'd we get stuck on a laundry detail, Rusty? It was that or dishes or floors, boom, boom. I'll take laundry any day. Ugh. With all the mutants that X Factor rescued recently, it's the worst job in the house. It's torture, slave labor. It's lighten up, boom, boom. Some of us were glad to be rescued, and I, for one, need help. You sure do, but a lot of good there training done so far. You've been stuck here for days, and they haven't taught you anything about controlling your force field. They've been kind of busy, you know. Hey, look, Artie's projecting Scott's face. Hey, Artie, what is it, kid? What's wrong? Scott, thank heaven you called. Have you found her? Oops, 2 pages. What? I'm sorry, Scott. Really sorry. Is there anything any of us can do? I wish we could, Scott, but right now it's Warren. No, it's worse than that, Scott. They cut off his wings. They what? They can't. No, Artie, come here. Listen to me. I know Angel was hurt saving you, but it's not your fault. It's nobody's fault, Artie. It's like Rusty always says, saving mutants is what X Factor's for. And if they get hurt, then they deserve what they get. Don't kid the ugly little punk. Sure, it's his fault, not the mask cares. Flamin' do-gooders trying to teach mutants to pass for human like them? Ha. Now Angel's got no wings, like humans for sure. Ha ha. You think X Factor can teach Mask to pass for human? Or the little ugly? Stop it. Leave Artie alone. You monster. He's just a baby. If it weren't for you, for X Factor, you'd be dead too. I wish you were dead. I'll show you, monster. I'll show you dead. Whap. Wow, that was close. Boom. I told you what happened, Boom Boom, if you pulled a stunt like that again. But Hank Mask said, forget Mask, Rusty. I don't want to hear it. It's Boom Boom I'm concerned with. But those times bombs you create are potentially lethal, Tabitha. I'm tired of seeing you threaten others with them. Under no circumstances are they to be used against another being. Is that understood? An hour in the laundry room should give you plenty of time to talk about this, to think about this. And every time you time bomb somebody else, it'll be another hour. Now move it. All this stuff, I think it's getting to Hank. At least there's be less laundry soon. Caliban are checking the alley. They want the Morlocks to go back home. Good riddance. But Skids, you're a Morlock. If they leave, does that mean you have to leave too? Several days later at St. Vincent's Hospital, as if Warren Worthington III, best known as the high-flying angel, didn't have enough troubles, the government that clipped the angel's wings may seek to cage him as well. The famed mutant is scheduled to attend next month's inquiry into Worthington Industries' financial holdings. Of particular concern is his interest in the mutant hunting organization X Factor. An unsatisfactory outcome could result in legal action that could clip his purse strings and send him to prison. What? Gene, what do you think you're doing? Using my power for good. Warren, you don't need that. You don't need to hear that. Yeah, what do I need to hear? More lies about how I'm going to get well, how everything's going to be fine? You need to hear that. We love you, Warren, that we care. Without my wings, I'm nothing, Gene, less than nothing. How can you say you love me? How can you say you care? You let them do this to me. You would have died. I should have died. Quit looking at me like that. Go on, get out of here. Take your lies and get out. While in Alaska, excuse me, Mrs. Summers, the telephone long distance from Gene? Yeah, I know you're sorry about Maddie. I'm sorry too. Now look, I can't come back now. I have to stay, bury her for the people who murdered her and owe her that. I know, Scott, but Warren needs you. We all need you. I'm so worried about him. He won't eat, won't talk to me. He's so angry. He says he'd be better off dead. I understand. I know how he feels, how you feel. But Scott, I'm afraid. At least he's alive. I wasn't here when Maddie needed me, Jean, and now she's dead. I understand why you can't come to the funeral. You have to understand why I have to stay here. Meanwhile, in the lower level of the X Factor complex, already they begin to return to the alley. Caliban has sensed them hiding in the far recesses. Caliban, you want to leave? Yes, Hank. We have explored the alley. Other Morlocks survived the massacre. Then bring them here. They'll be safe, protected. The way Boom Boom was protected? It wasn't fair the way you punished her, Hank. Mask attacked her, tried to change her face. She was defending herself, but you were so into picking on her, you didn't want to hear the truth. Mask. So what? I am a Morlock. X Factor can't command me. Can do what I want. Change who I will see. No. You want Mask's beauty treatment, Beast? Ha. Your X Factor creeps pass on as a human. Try to pass as a human now. Gink. Mask. No. Stop it. Put him back. No. Beast challenged me. I fight him. It's Morlock way. Our way is to answer a challenge without powers. X Factor is not the alley. Mask. Has no right to insist on Morlock way here. But Caliban promised Scott Summers he would help X Factor, and he will. Caliban will fight Mask without powers, and when wins, Mask must restore Beast. Haha, Mask, bigger, stronger Mask will destroy you, and Beast will stay Beast. Haha. Like you forever. No, no powers. Leech, rotten, stinking little power siphon. I oughta keep your mind on what you are doing. Wow. Restore Hank, fix him, or Caliban will tear your arm off. Okay, fix Beast, then he passed in as human again, and like his pal Angel, no wings. Ha! Now he human too. That's the point, isn't it, Hank? We're Morlocks, mutants. You say that X Factor will protect us, but how can you? You couldn't even save the Angel from the human's mutilation. We thank you for your help, but we Morlocks belong with our own kind. I know why they're going off like that. I should go to only I want to learn Rusty and I want to stay. Meanwhile, in the graveyard in the northern Anchorage, Maddie, it was bad these last few months. I almost wished you were dead so I wouldn't have to choose. Me or Jean, huh? Tough problem, darling. Yeah, look, I know you won't believe it, that it doesn't change things, but I didn't mean it. I loved you. And the baby, I'll kill them for murdering you. Real Old Testament, darling, very righteous. And all the while, Angel's in New York, starving himself, brooding, dying, killing himself. Life for a life, while you're here chasing after a dream. Killing himself? No, Angel's alive. Jean's watching him. He has to be alive. He has to be. Ah, that night, St. Vincent's Hospital. Mr. Worthington, how are we tonight? Huh? Here are our sleeping pills. We do want our full night's beauty rest, don't we? Thank you, nurse. Know that, not that you need it, we do. Indeed. Can't stand much more of this. He didn't take the pills. Can't fly, what to do? My money's willed to X Factor. They don't need me to carry on. My trial will expose them as mutants. My presence has created problems for them already. But if I were gone, you saw Warren tonight. Lucky. How is he? Gorgeous as usual in the mutant kingdoms, filled with hunks like him. I'm applying for citizenship. No kidding. Hey, maybe we can get X Factor to hunt us up a few just like him. Need to get up in the air. Need space to think. Cabby. Where to, buddy? Kennedy Airport. One last time. I need to fly. While a half mile over Manhattan, a menacing platform hovers cloaked from both human and mechanical senses. Look below, my horsemen. How the world teems, crawls with wretched, struggling humanity. Weak, useless things. The gene pool has become polluted. It must be cleansed. The weak removed that the strong have room to thrive. Patience, my horsemen. Soon you will thunder over the earth. In sickness will you test them, pestilence. In war, in famine, and in death, yes, death. The time is ripe to pluck the forth. And then the strong will survive, will live to sit at the right hand of apocalypse. And the weak will burn. While in the X Factor complex below, Pretty Skids will stay with X Factor, learn to control her powers, pass as human. Fa. I hate you. I will destroy you. Come, Leech, we must go now. But know that Jean Grey, Caliban made Scott Summers a promise. Caliban will return. Come on, Artie, baby. It's way past your bedtime. You two guys, it's practically morning. We saved them, Bobby, knocked ourselves out to protect them. So do I feel like such a failure? No point in going to bed tonight. At least Scott'll be home in a few hours. Hey, what do you say to a quick workout? Listen, Hank, so much has happened to Angel and Scott and stuff. I'm wondering what maybe Mask was right about us. I just want to go off somewhere and think. Oh, come on, Bobby. It'll do you good. Bobby. Wow, gone already? Maybe a guy that fast on his feet doesn't need to work out. And much too early the next morning, it's chocolate skids and filled with raspberry cream. All you have to do is concentrate. Let your force field shrink till your yawn gas the chocolate and, darn, not boring you, am I? Hank? Hey, aren't you supposed to get Scott at the airport or something? Soon, Skids, and in the meanwhile, no yawn sacrifice is too great for my... Hank, Gene, what's wrong? I went to the hospital. It's Warren. He's gone. Yeah, an intern saw him hail a cab for Kennedy Airport. Heard him say he'd fly one last time. The intern didn't know what he meant, but now Warren changed his will, Hank. He left his money to X Factor. He said we'd be better off if he was dead. Of all the fool, I don't know where Bobby's got to, but we can't wait for him now. Come on, Gene. We've got to stop him. Well, at Kennedy Airport, 14 hours from an Anchorage, exhausted, worth it. Glad to be home. Warren's down, really down, but I can't get through him and interest him in training the kids or the X Factor copter. Surely Warren won't try anything in the air. He's not in any shape to fly himself, and he wouldn't harm the pilot. Gene, Hank, here I am, but you didn't have to come for me. Call the tower, Hank. Find out. Scott, it's not you, is it? It's who's piloting? It's Warren, Gene. Flight plan shows he's headed for Arizona. Gene, his plane, there on the runway. Looks like he's been cleared for takeoff. Radio him. Hank, hurry before it's too late. Got to get away. Up where I can breathe. Back pain. Hard to sit, to think. They sliced me up good. Cut me down, Gene. Hank, I let them. Wings crippled, not struck, deaf or blind. So many hints for doctors' media. I should have known. Taking steps ended it before it came to this. Done it different, changed. The world. Not let myself be trapped like some dumb animal. If only what? Had informed X Factor, stayed out of the tunnels. Let Artie die. What? What would I change? I don't know. Maybe the humans do hate us. Want us dead. Want to destroy us. Hurt so bad, just need to get away. He's arming something. Hank, he's turning out over the ocean. Scott. That's not the way to Arizona. Quick, boom. Warren. Angel. My fault. Should have been here. And now, Scott, darling, hush. It's not your fault. Really, it's not your fault. Skids, Rusty, Boom Boom, and Artie face death in Morlock Alley, playing with fire. All right. And that is the name of that tune. All right. Well, that was X Factor number 15, 75 cents from back in 1987. I hope you liked it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. Tell me what was good. Tell me what was bad. Tell me about my audio. Tell me about my video. Okay? Don't forget, this book and others are available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. And as I always say...
That was easy.
Until next time, Papa is out.